Hello, today is I think August 24th, 2019. It is 11:11 as I start this video, so that's pretty exciting. um, Such a great synchronicity, but I just thought I'd come in and do a little energy update, a little check-in, get some messages, see what's happening. I feel like the energy is kind of like a little intense. It feels like a little heavy, but only if you're um, it feels like if you're not like super aware of like what's going on with the collective energy, then it might wear on your like individual energy. So it can make you feel like really run down, really tired. I'm just getting self-care. Yeah, self-care is so important right now. Boundaries, like making sure your energy is like your first priority, because that makes you a better person all around. It makes you a better friend, a better lover, a better parent, a better um, husband or wife, or a better spouse. It makes you a better employer, makes you a better boss, when we put ourselves first. We've kind of been taught to put ourselves on the back burner and please other people to get their approval and to gratify our egos and make our egos feel really good, because our egos like to feel good. Our egos do not like to feel uncomfortable. So our soul will continuously push for us to find more things that are fulfilling, more things that make us feel lighter, that make us feel happier. If you notice somebody's energy makes you feel really heavy or really tired, it's about learning how to release that. But first, you'll have to release the attachment to that said person or thing. Maybe it's a job. Yeah. So, job, a home, anything that makes you heavy is not in alignment with your soul. And so your soul will continuously ask you to upgrade. And that's the thing, is you have your free will choice. So you don't have to listen. You do not have to listen. So anyway, let's go ahead and just get started. What do we need to know right now? Oh, beautiful first card, the Star. This is, I'm going to move this light. I think it would be better over here. Yes, much better. So the Star represents, maybe that's not better. The Star represents like grace and hope and faith and healing and positivity and like enchantment. I love the Star. This is a great first card to get. This is also like being led by the stars, being led by your guides. Like I was saying, like your guides will guide you. They'll give you all the answers you need. They'll give you the instruction you need. But it's up to you to use your free will choice to make those changes, to do what they ask you to do. And that's how you learn how to like work as a team. That's how you learn to like work together in partnership. And so it's really teaching us how to how to have a partnership and how to work as a team, especially when you have children involved, to work as like, with each other instead of against each other. And what I've learned is that I've had to learn how to work as a team by learning to work with my guides and listen to my inner wisdom, into my intuition. So I love that. What else do we need to know about the Star? Oh, yes, and it's Libra season. Justice came up. So yes, the balances are being, or like the scales are being balanced. There's clarity being found. I love the sword. It's just like this energy of like, yeah, like justice. And like, this could be with like legal matters. I'm getting that like, anything that you're going through that may be legal. Like I'm getting like divorce or assets or like just anything binding, marriages. It's like this is divinely guided, is what I'm getting. Is like this is spiritually led, and so things will like balance out. Like you can like believe and you can have faith, especially with a Star, that things will balance out. Especially Libra season, it's just like an energy of like, I'm just getting like soul contracts, especially with the Star and Justice, is like soul contracts. And what I am feeling, especially with the autumn equinox that we just had yesterday, it's like your soul, like I was saying, is going to push you to release things that are no longer in alignment with you. So we have soul contracts with people to teach us lessons about ourselves. And like, partnerships Not and this has to not just do with, like, platonic, but, like, friendships and also family members as well, like, any relationship, because Justice Libra is the ruler of, like, relationships, and so, it's, like, balancing those relationships. Any relationships that are not harmonious, that are not helping you to evolve or to reach your destiny with the star will be balanced, will be released, will be let go of, like, I'm picking up on Saturn, um and Saturn is like, I don't know, the ruler of like contractual relationships, I'm hearing. I don't know if that's even true, but like just like it's like forcing people to really look at their habits and their patterns and why they've attracted to certain people in their lives and to use it to learn, because that's what Saturn does is he's our teacher, and so it's like about um learning how to have harmonious and balanced relationships instead of these relationships that are very like imbalanced or like contractual, like I'm only going to love you if you do this and this for me, or I'm only going to love you if you provide me with this, and I'll love you if I do this, and you love me if I do that for you, like that's not. It's about learning how to love each other for who you are. um Anyway, that kind of just flew out. All right, let's see what else. What are we not seeing clearly with this energy here? What are we not seeing clearly with this energy? Four of Swords, yes. Mental rest is definitely needed right now. Because when these things are happening and like our soul's pushing for us to get clear on something, because especially I was feeling that with this sword that Justice is holding there. And this is more swords. This is about like getting clarity. This is about healing. Another card, the star, is also about healing. So this is about going within and finding that inner peace, finding that peace within yourself. What I'm getting is there's a lot of relationships that are extremely turbulent right now. That's what I was feeling with Saturn too, is like Saturn is shaking these relationships up, like let go. Like, and people are just clinging for dear life because it makes them feel comfortable. Like I said, the ego feels comfortable, but our soul does not want these kind of relationships anymore. And that's what I love with Libra and Justice is like our soul doesn't want like a home and like it doesn't search for those things. It wants fulfillment, it wants love, it wants peace, and that's what we're like. Relationships should be peaceful. If relationships don't bring you peace, then they're just highlighting a wound for you, and what you're learning is how to not react from that wound, but to be at peace with what it's showing you so that you can continue, like I was saying, like to work as a team. A lot of parents, they're not even on the same team, and what happens is a lot of parents, they end up using their children and pinning them against their parents. And I know because I came from a family like that, and it completely ripped me apart and fucked up all my beliefs about marriage, about love, about relationships, about men, and about women. And it really messes with the mind. So what we're learning here is how to go within and how to create that peace, because that's what the soul wants. That's what our children need. That's what our homes need, is more peace. They're like our children. I love Marianne Williamson. She's running for president in 2020, and she's just like waging this new thing that she wants for peace for children. Like she mentions how there are children that are growing up in homes that are like war zones, that these children are suffering from PTSD just as badly as returning veterans from Afghanistan. And that I know that because I was one of those children. My nervous system was shot because of the chaos and the conflict I had experienced in my home. And our home is supposed to be our sanctuary. It's supposed to be our safe place. It's supposed to be our foundation. But when we don't feel this peace within ourselves, our home and our environment, excuse me, our relationships will reflect that internal chaos until we recognize it within ourselves and take the steps we're guided to take. Take the steps we're guided to take to find that peace within ourselves, to not rely on a home to bring us peace, to not rely on a spouse to bring us peace, to not rely on our children to bring us peace, but to find that peace within ourselves. So what else do we need to know? What are we not seeing clearly with the Ace of Swords, or the Ace of Swords, the Four of Swords here? Oh yes, the King of Swords. I love the King of Swords. This is great energy because the King of Swords is very neutral. He doesn't. He does. I'm getting. He doesn't speak unless spoken to, and so he's I love him because he kind of takes a step back. He's not like suction cupped to, he's not super attached to anything around him. He's not in his emotions. He's being very logical. He's being very strategic. He's communicating very clearly. He has boundaries. And actually, what he's doing is he's asserting his boundaries. The King of Swords is assertive. And when we find that peace within ourselves, when we get really clear on what it is we desire and what it is we want and what it is we're feeling, then we can take action with clarity. And that actually, that brings us, it's like this energy of like demanding, but it's not from a place of like force. It's from a place of peace. And when you assert yourself with peace, when you assert yourself with harmony, you become a powerful leader. I'm picking up on the King of Swords being a very powerful leader because a powerful leader does need to be detached from their emotions, but also needs to be gentle within the way that they assert themselves, with the way they communicate with themselves. They need to be very gentle. And so this could be about communication as well. And so what we're learning is to not lash out like from our wounds. And you can tell in our communication that when we lash out, sometimes we get a little snappy. I notice that within myself, anyways. So it's about learning how to communicate clearly and maturely, and from a place of like assertiveness, from a place of peace. I really like that. And also, I love that we have the Justice here with the sword in the hand too. I'm just getting this energy of like a peaceful resolution, or like, yeah, that's what I'm picking up there. A peaceful resolution. So if there's anything on your mind, especially if you're going through any like contractual things, like legal stuff, or like any like, maybe this could even do with like work or home or finances, that there will be a peaceful resolution. If you can embody the energy of the King of Swords, if you can stay detached, if you can stay neutral, if you cannot get too caught up in the mind. And that's why it's important to retreat. The Four of Swords is about retreating, and taking a break, taking a mental break. Because sometimes the King of Swords, he's very logical, so he can be very much caught up in the mind. But it's important to find that balance between the heart and the mind. You can still be very logical, you can still be very neutral and very detached, and still be gentle and caring and loving and like supportive. So what is your advice for us right now? What is your advice for us, Spirit? Okay, Page of Cups. Yes, I love this energy because the Page of Cups is like very receptive, very open, very innocent, very like, yeah, just very lighthearted. I love the energy of the Page of Cups. And what I'm getting from this is like laughter. So being like more, because the King of Swords is also like very serious, like very stoic, like very stoic, can be like very flat faced, very like, I'm so serious all the time. The Page of Cups is not that at all. The Page of Cups is like laugh and be childlike, and it's a great combination, like I was saying, because you can be gentle and you can also embody this King of Swords. You can be both. And that's what a lot of men have not been taught that in society. They don't believe that they can embrace their inner child and have this gentleness and be a powerful leader at the same time. But that is not true. What actually makes you an even more powerful leader, and what will attract people to you, is your openness, is your open, kind, loving heart. That is what will attract people to you. So yes, you can come off as this very like professional, very logical, very smart, intelligent. The freaking King of Swords is intelligent. His mind is immaculate. His mind is beautiful. One thing I need to mention is you need to take care of your mind by the things and the food that you put into your body. This really affects your mind and how well it operates. A lot of us have been taught to consume garbage, alcohol, sugar. These things are caffeine. 3 things terrible for your mind. And your mind is precious, and you need to take care of it because it is your most powerful weapon. And you don't use it to destroy, you don't use it to destruct, you use it to love, you use it to wage peace. What else is your advice with the Page of Cups? Okay, I'm getting, 5 of Pentacles. This is feeling left out in the cold, feeling abandoned, lack, scarcity. What I'm getting is you feel There's someone out there that feels that if they embrace more of their childlike energy, more of their innocence, more of their playfulness, their lightheartedness, that they won't be supported. They'll be left out in the cold, and this comes from childhood wounding of maybe you spoke your truth as a child and it was ridiculed or not supported at all. And so you have this deeply ingrained fear that if you get back to who you are, if you get back to your inner child, if you get back to what you truly love and what makes your heart sing with joy, that you won't be supported and that you'll be left out in the cold. So the advice is to keep your heart open, to keep your heart open because you will be supported. And that's exactly what this the star is to me is all about, is like being guided by your star family. Like you are being guided by your ancestors. You are being guided by your light beings, by yeah, you're just being led, and so you won't be left out in the cold. This is just an abandonment wound I'm getting with this, and so as we move into our inner child, a lot of us have wounds towards our inner child, or we have learned how to close our hearts off to be loved by certain people, most likely our parents, or our mother or father, and so we abandon. This is exactly abandon. We abandon parts of ourselves. We abandon parts of our heart in order to fit into our society, to fit into our family and how they operate. Like for me, for example, I was very lighthearted, very high vibrational, but I learned how to have this scarcity mindset, how to have this lack mindset, and it really lowered my vibration. And I abandoned parts of myself to be able to fit into my family. I learned that like neglecting myself, that hating myself was how I fit into my family. And so, and I closed off my heart. I stopped sharing my heart because it wasn't accepted. It wasn't received. It wasn't received. And so it made me feel like I was abandoned. It made me feel like my emotions that I held in my imagination. I'm also picking up with the Page of Cups because the imagination, I'm getting Pisces. You don't have to be a Pisces, but I'm getting a Pisces energy, which is a water sign, and it's about imagination. And sometimes as children, we are taught to abandon our imagination, to rely on the outside to support us, to make us feel, to make us have an identity. And so that's what I'm doing there, is to release this lack mindset and really open up to your heart. Like if you open up your heart, you won't be abandoned. You won't be emotionally abandoned this time. Like it's safe for you to love is what I hear. And I love that because underneath the deck, 10 of Cups. This is like emotional fulfillment. This is like the happy family. This is like the family you always dreamed of. What is ringing to me is that you've had this idea of your family, or maybe your ideal spouse, your ideal partner. What happens is we come here with a very pure idea of what that is. That would be the Page of Cups, our purity. We have a very pure idea of what we want, of love, of marriage, even of a family. And what happens is we incarnate into these families or into this society, and our minds begin to get distorted by the family that we are brought up in, or by the families that we see in our society. And so it kind of can distort our perception, and we begin to believe that we'll have the same kind of love that our parents have. If we don't go back into our look at our wounds and our triggers, we will most likely attract the same relationship that our parents had from our own unconscious wounds, from our own. And that's what the Four of Swords, I feel like it's like about going within and then being able to clearly cut out things, because the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords is more about like embodying your truth and being authentic, but the King of Swords just starts cutting out shit that does not align with him. But first he needs clarity. And then underneath that is the Queen of Pentacles, which I was feeling. This is about nurturing yourself. This is about finding your inner mother. And she nurtures both the masculine and the feminine. She nurtures her body. She knows her worth. She knows her value. I love that. And like becoming that queen within yourself. And this can be for both male and female. We both have this Queen of Pentacles within us. She's very patient. She's very loving. She's very nurturing. She's very kind. I'm also picking up on Mother Mary. Call upon her anytime you need. She is a blessing. She has been helping me so much. I feel her right now, actually. She always calls me her child, and she just loves me. And she's exactly what I need. Also, Four of Wands, which I love because this is another card of like union and like a happy home and like celebration, and it could be about marriage or like a strong foundation, a very committed foundation built on love instead of foundation built on like lack, and what your ego wants. And then underneath that, I have to share because it's the lovers. And I love that because it's like, this is a card of like the lovers too, kind of like union of merging your masculine and feminine energies within yourself, and also being able to attract that externally. So you'll find basically the whole message is to find more balance within yourself. That's Justice. That's Libra that came up, which I love. I love Libra energy too. And Libra is like an air sign, but it's also a very grounded air sign. So it's like finding that balance between the heart and the mind. Like I was saying, like you can be this King of Swords, but you can also have a very gentle and open, loving heart. You don't have to like abandon that part of yourself. Especially for men, like when they abandon their hearts, they become very cold. Because the King of Swords, he can be very cold. But and this is also an energy of being cold. But if you feel like you're literally being cold and you're shutting off your emotions, like it's just a place to look at healing. And why are you cutting off your heart? Because your heart is what connects you to like source, to the divine, to heaven. When you make decisions from that place, you make more peaceful decisions. You make more decisions based in love instead of out of fear, instead of out of scarcity, instead of out of lack. All right. Just get some clarifiers. Do we need to know about the star and Justice? Get some exercise. I love this. It says, as your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. Exactly. So this is also really good for the mind, like not just eating, but like exercising. Like you could do exercises at home. You could go for a run. You could go to the gym. Exercise can look so different for you. It could be yoga. So I like that. What else? What else do we need to know with this? Yes, emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. I love that with Justice. So it's like things will balance out if you can open up. If you can open up your heart space, kind of like the Page of Cups. Because when we don't believe like love is available to us, or we don't believe that like money is available to us, then we'll continuously attract that. So I just feel like it's really like, especially as you're emotionally healing, it's really important to get exercise so you stay grounded. Like I was saying, Justice is a very mental energy. It's an air sign, but it's also grounded. So it can make us feel up in the air and up in the mind, but it's also important to ground that to the earth so that you feel very stable, so that you feel very balanced. Because that's what I'm getting. An overall message is to stay balanced. Like I'm getting that these fears of lack and scarcity and not enough are coming up, but they're just coming up so that you can see them. That's why it's important to retreat and not get too caught up in your mind, so that you can observe when these things are being triggered and recognize that you just need to release them. And you can do that by crying. You can do that by writing. You can do that by, exercising. So it's really important to notice when those emotions arise and not to get caught up in them, but to allow yourself to move through them. And remember, especially I'm getting with the King of Swords, like to detach from your emotions, to detach from your thoughts. Like don't not feel them to their fullest, but in the mind, detach from them. Remember, your thoughts are not who you are. Your feelings are not you. You have to sit with yourself and get into the energy of peace. And meditate. Meditate might be a very important message, especially with the Four of Swords there. He's meditating. He's literally like in deep rest. Or maybe you just need to sleep more, take more naps throughout the day. And people don't, they're like, I must work really, really fucking hard all the time so that I can create this abundance, so that I can create this money, so that I can create this perfect life. And it's just like, first you just have to create a perfect place within yourself and just reside in that place. It's a very, very contradicting way, the way we've been taught, we've been taught to force, to push, to manipulate, to control. What are we not seeing clearly with this Four of Swords? Autumn. In the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. I love that. So that could be like a literal timing question, like whatever you've been manifesting, especially because the King of Swords, he's very intentional. And so if you've been taking action, like intentional action on something that you truly desire and something that you want, then this is saying that there is, hope, especially with the star, that like thing, you will reap a wonderful harvest. That's what I love. I love that about autumn too. And also, like, as we go into autumn, we move into a feminine energy. So the autumn in winter are feminine energy. So we learn how to slow down and kind of hibernate, how to rest, how to retreat, how to go inward, how to be still. And that's our receptive energy. And that's what meditation is about. And like receiving the answers to your questions, and receiving if you've been planting seeds and you've been working, because like what I'm getting is like you've been working towards gaining clarity in your mind, and you've been working on shifting your beliefs and shifting your thoughts, that as you will, and as you've been doing that, it feels like during the summer, especially as you continue to get some exercise, use positive affirmations, like receive you will receive, but you're just learning how to receive, and to not block it off. Like the King of Swords, he might want to block it off because he can get kind of like, well, if it doesn't come my way, then I don't want it. So it's like just allowing yourself to be open-minded and to receive. What else are we not seeing clearly with the King of Swords? Yes, be yourself. And I love that because the King of Swords, he's authentic. He speaks his truth. He's like so like serious. He's like dead set on who he is. So he has no problem expressing who he is. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis of your personal power. Yes, I'm also just getting communication, like communicate your truth, speak your truth, even if it's just to yourself in the mirror, just communicate your truth, speak it aloud. And that really helps you to manifest it as well when you use your words, because our voice is like creation. And the King of Swords, this could be around like public speaking. This could be about singing. This could be about anywhere that you use your voice. So it's important for you to be yourself because that is your power. What is your advice with this Page of Cups? Easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. So I'm just getting this energy to be like, you know how children kind of just go with the flow. They don't try to force anything or try to push anything. They certainly don't worry about the future. They're just in the present moment, like they don't fear that they're going to be abandoned all the time, that they're going to be left out in the cold, or they believe that they will be supported. And that's why it's important to let go of control. What else is your advice with this Five of Pentacles? Holiday. The answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation retreat or holiday getaway. Interesting. So that could be like the Five of Pentacles, or like maybe you feel like you don't have enough to go on a holiday, or like going on a vacation seems like out of your means, or like you just don't have time for it. But what it's saying is that you need to create the time because it's actually going to help you. Let's get one more there. What is your advice with this holiday? Connect with nature. You're rejuvenated, inspired by spending time outdoors. So yeah, I'm just getting this energy of needing to retreat, and that's the Page of Cups. And you can even see that the Page of Cups is kind of by the water here. It's like that playful energy. It feels rejuvenated. It feels like excited and playful and happy. So I'm just getting that it's important to maybe manifest or look into ways that you could retreat or go on a little vacation to connect with nature. Interesting, to help bring you out of this like lack mindset, and so that you can feel more free. Interesting. I was going to use these really quick, and then I will do. Okay. What do we need to know about this? Get some exercise, Spirit. Sexuality. I love that. So what I'm getting with this is like, when we have a lot of sexual energy, and we don't use it up, a great way to use up your sexual energy is by getting exercise, by dancing, by going for a walk, by going for a run, by boxing, by, whatever uses up that sexual energy, otherwise it will turn into like frustration and stagnancy. So it's important to use that energy as a way to help yourself heal rather than, make you angry. What else? Because that's what this emotional healing is probably about too. It's like you might be feeling sexually like frustrated, and this is saying to do things that you like. This is the Page of Cups, like to do things that make you feel that sense of excitement, because our sexual energy is just like pure creation energy. So what can you create from your sexuality? It's just about healing your sexuality. We've also been taught that sex is our power too, like especially a lot of men have been taught that sex is their power. or a lot of men like to feel in control by having sex. It just makes them feel very manly. So, like, they're just teaching you how to use your sexuality in a way that's healthy for you instead of a way that's depleting your life force energy. Um, what what do we need to know with this emotional healing? Okay, these two wanted to come out. Change of mind and worthy, which I love that. So this is really great. It's like, especially as you, with the justice, as you begin to focus on, feeling very worthy within yourself, and you nurture those thoughts of feeling worthy, and you forgive yourself for the times that you maybe misused your sexual energy, or for the times you manipulated with your sexual energy or abused it. Like, as you forgive yourself, you open up your heart space, and you realize how precious your your little how precious your sexuality is, and how it should be treated with respect, and forgiving yourself for not treating yourself with respect by abusing that part of you. And it's like, your sexuality is what makes you who you are. It's like, it's literally life force energy. So by creating a healthier relationship with your sexuality through exercise, through dance, through music, there's lots of different ways you can explore your sexuality, but like through sensual touch or sensual massage, like, as you develop a healthier relationship with it, then you feel more supported. You literally feel like you're abundant. You feel like you have everything you need. You feel so, like, full of energy. You have so much vitality, and it's what keeps you moving forward. The star, that's like your destiny. Your destiny may seem like daunting or like a lot of work, but when you're in the energy of creation, when you're in your sexuality energy, when you're using the energy to motivate you, especially the King of Swords. This could be like motivational speaking too, like being a motivator, like communicating with that sexual energy, that makes you very powerful. I'm also picking up on just like faith and like preaching, or like some kind of like spiritual communication, like spiritual inspiration, spiritual motivation. So that's interesting. What do we need to know with this autumn? Caretaker. Interesting. So yeah, I'm getting like this is like a card about like allowing yourself to be taken care of too. Like, maybe you've been taught to overgive in order to receive love, and so you feel like you constantly have to, once you stop like giving to other people, you fear that you may like not be taken care of. This is kind of like the Five of Pentacles, but it's saying to allow yourself to receive. That's what I was kind of feeling there too. And when you're in your stillness, and autumn, that's a time of receptivity, of receiving, of allowing yourself to be taken care of. What else are we not seeing clearly with Be Yourself? Take flight. Yes, this is like, take a leap of faith, like step out of your comfort zone. Like, it's safe for you to, it's like time to spread your wings and fly. I like that. What is your advice with this easy does it? And this easy does it. Faith. Yes, exactly. I was feeling faith. So instead of learning how to control, instead of worrying about everything, and when we worry and we constantly worry, we're in this energy of lack. We believe that we won't be supported. And what I've had to learn, my biggest lesson probably, was learning how to have faith instead of worrying. So every time you notice yourself worrying, you have to catch yourself and stop and choose to have faith, choose to have loving thoughts about whether it's a person or a situation. Like, you can't control other people. All you can do is control the way you perceive it. And if you can perceive it through the eyes of faith, if you can perceive it through the eyes of love, then you no longer keep yourself bound. You release yourself. You feel free. What is your advice with holiday and connect with nature? Union. Love that. I love this card. So as you do that, like, I love it with faith too. Like, have faith in this union. Have faith in yourself, really. And then underneath the deck is write. I love that. So you might need to write as a way to express your feelings. And then recognition. So like, this is like a card of awakening, of remembering. And then fearless, like, you are fearless. And I love that because I'm wearing my Taylor Swift shirt today, and I have a tattoo fearless on my arm, and I got that because of her, and I love her. And then underneath that is innocence. And so I love that with the Page of Cups and just like getting back to what you love. And when you are in your innocent energy, you feel fearless, you feel super brave. And so, yeah, you just, you're bold. And when you're from your inner child, you're like living from your purest sense, from the part of you that, the inner child to me is just the part of us that is God. So when you live from that part of yourself, then you're always supported. You're always supplied with what you need. It's not always going to look like what you want it to, and that's what's been the hardest for me. I'll literally just bawl. Like that's what this emotional healing is too. It's like this, and I'll just be like, this is not what I wanted, but my guides are always telling me. That's totally the star too. My guides are always like, but this is what we're giving you, everything you need. This is what you need. And that's what's hard is like our ego wants it to look a certain way. We might want our relationships to look a certain way because of the way we were brought up or because of the way society is, or we want our home to look a certain way, or we want our job to look a certain way, or, we just want things to look a certain way as a way to make us feel safe and comfortable. But we're learning to shift the whole paradigm and shift the way that we view life. And so actually a lot of the ways that we view life and we view relationships and the way we view work is very distorted. It's very delusional. And as we awaken to that and we get more receptive and get back to our inner child, then we see through the eyes of love. And we're no longer bound by time and space and by rules or societal constructs or family constructs. We're free. That's what I think we're all looking for. Freedom, peace, happiness, fulfillment. All right, what is the overall message here? Okay, we got Earth Angel. I love this. So I'll read it to you. This one's not too long. This is a poem that it starts off with. Earth Angel, you carry the world in your robes and heaven in your hair. You bring me a special gift now, responding to my prayer. Though sometimes I may feel that I am struggling or alone, that's totally the Five of Pentacles, you come to me now and carry me into your heart. You bring me home. Even from the darkest depths, I rise up to meet your light. I cannot be separated from the divine. I cannot be separated from the light. Amen. This oracle brings a message of divine guidance. You have an angel with you, watching over you and assisting you in response to your heart's call for help, love, and protection for you and your beloveds. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Keep praying each day from your heart and know you are safely carried on the journey of love. If you have been worrying, I was saying that, about a loved one, know that this protection extends to them as well. You are asked to pray more and worry less, allowing love to be. That's totally about having faith, and I was totally saying that. Thank you for walking with me. Before you climbed up here, I was afraid. I had risked everything by holding out my hand, and now, as I share your joy and excitement at being a friend, I realize I may have to run to catch up with you. I love that little part. And what I was feeling, okay, so one thing that I've learned, and one thing that I really want to speak more about, is we tend to, and I learned this through my father, my relationship with him, because he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And I wanted to control, and what I've learned from cancer is how to let go of control, because you don't have any control over it. And what I learned is every time I wanted to worry about him, I had to learn how to have faith instead. And this totally transformed my nervous system, first of all, because I wasn't constantly in my mind overanalyzing things, and my body, it needs rest. That's totally the Four of Swords. So what we need to do is develop. And for me, it's like I'm totally supported and loved by my guides, and they're protecting me all the time. Archangel Michael, he literally is like my big brother, and I've always wanted a big brother, and he has made that dream come true because he stands in front of me. I don't know. It's kind of like my own room. It's like my own room. I've created my own room, and he just guards me. He's like my bodyguard. And he protects me, and I literally rely on him, on his energy to make me feel safe. And he's with me. He laughs. He's also very serious. He's very protective, but he's also like playful and fun. And he really works with the inner child to help you feel safe again. And I think that a lot of parents, they worry about their children instead of having faith. What we need to be teaching parents is how to have faith and how to set the intention that my child is safe and protected. Every time you have fearful thoughts of your child being hurt, you have to focus those thoughts back to my child is protected by God. My child is protected by their own angels. And as you set that intention, you are actually supporting that. But as you create awful scenarios about things that could happen to your children, you're actually creating them. You're supporting that creation. So by focusing your thoughts that my child is loved and supported by angels, just imagine that. How much better would you feel if you knew your children were always protected by angels? But we can tell our children this. We can teach our children how to rely on that aspect of them so that they always feel safe, that they always have someone to turn to, so that they never, ever feel abandoned. And to really support them with the intention that we know that they are protected. We have to believe that they are protected by angels. We have to believe that they are protected by warriors of light. We have to believe it first for them to be able to believe in. So that's just my little tidbit for today because that has helped me feel safe and to let go of worry and to have more faith within myself and my loved ones. I make sure that I send a prayer to protect everybody that I love every single day. Just as a way so that I don't have to worry about them. And I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful autumn because it's autumn equinox and I'm sending you so much love.